Good evening, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Happy Thursday. What's going on?
Freddie
Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Mike Green, I'm hearing, upset at fellow Republicans who were supporting Ron Schuette this evening at a political meeting or a campaign-style meeting. And Tasha Diaz is in the headlines on News 12 in regards to her attempt to award a contract allegedly to her campaign manager and city employee. Will an investigation happen? Some people are looking for it. Or did she simply make a mistake and not know who owned the company? Anyway, folks, good evening. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This evening, there was an event, and I don't think many people knew about it. It was called Chat, and I'm not sure too much about it. I was just informed, last minute. But apparently, this was a gathering of residents to listen to certain candidates, specifically Mike Breen, who's running for re-election for his seat, District 5 councilman, and the mayor, I hear, was there also, who's also running for re-election against Anthony Moranti, who was not there. I was told he was not notified or invited to this event. But there were some people out there who were aware about it, and they decided it'd be a good idea to hand out flyers. Ron Matton and another individual by the name of Joe Dolly were out there handing out flyers with Ron Schuette's name on it, letting them know that they can vote for him as a write-in. They have to spell his name correctly. It's Ronald Schuette. Make sure you spell it correct if they are looking for someone else. Ron Schuette challenged Mike Breen in the Republican primary, and he lost by 12 to 13 votes. So it was a very close race, signifying that probably, people are ready for change. And so if they want to see change happen, that they have an opportunity. They can write Ron Schuette's name in this November 7th on election day and choose him to be their candidate. So apparently Mike Breen showed up, and he was completely unhappy about them being out there doing this, and he verbally attacked them, according to, those who contacted me. He was saying, "Where are the cameras? Where are the cameras?" and cursing at Ron Matton, upset that he was out there with these signs. And, Mike Breen and Ron Matton have had their feud for a while now. Ron Matton also was a candidate for city council president. He was considering running against Mike Breen this election for councilman District 5. But then there was this whole districting issue. He was redistricted out of the 5th district, and then they did it all over and put him back in. But at that point, he said he's not going to do it. But he still has his beef with Mike Breen. He still, wants to see Mike Breen gone. And so he's working hard to try and see that come to fruition. And Mike Breen is not very happy about it, hasn't been happy about it, and has been known to get very upset and curse at people loudly wherever he's at, in public. It doesn't matter if it's in a restaurant or in front of St. John's Church over there. While police are present, he was asking for the police to arrest Ron for impersonating the mayor. I'm not sure how Ron was doing that. Maybe you'd be the mayor for Halloween, Ron. You could be Mike Spano. But that's not impersonating the mayor. It's a costume. But he was asking the police to arrest Ron. But from what they're telling me, the police were just looking at him like he was going insane. Some people who were there, who were entering at the time, asked if he was drunk. So, Mike Breen, you have to control your temper. Listen, I know I've been guilty of that as well. And I've been told that I have to do the same. So I'm not judging you, Mike Breen. I understand when you get upset, sometimes we can let our emotions get the best of us. But you're running for re-election, and the people are going to see this and know about it, right? And so it's not a good look, Mike. So tone it down a bit, or guess, unless you don't care, right? Unless you don't care, you're going to win regardless. Doesn't matter what Ron Matton and whoever else thinks about it, right? It's a Republican feud. Folks, this is News 12. Tasha Diaz Again, in regards to the contract scandal, she was allegedly attempting to award a $30,000 contract for 6 months to a company called Aces Communications, or Consultant and Communications, which is a company owned by a gentleman named Frank Jarris, who is her campaign manager. Frank Jarris also is an employee of the city of Yonkers. His father is very well known in politics, Zahi Jarris, man who's suing me for $1 million for my podcast. She's on News 12. Let's take a look. You can't hear it? You're not able to hear that? I'm not sure why it does that sometimes. No sound. I apologize. There's no sound. I'm not sure why sometimes that happens. I'll try to reset it and see if we can get some sound. But it made it to News 12. People are wondering if Liam McLaughlin is going to investigate. He made a statement saying that he's not. He said that, it was a mistake. She caught it. That's what she's supposed to do. And she was able to catch it. So no harm, no foul. So what's there to investigate? Let's see. Let me know if you can hear, if there's sound.
The City Council is raising questions whether the current majority leader violated the city's code of ethics when she tried to award a contract to a company owned by the same person running her re-election campaign. News 12's Jonathan Gordon joins us from outside City Hall with the details. Jonathan, what more can you tell us?
Yeah, and so the majority leader here is being accused of using her position on the Board of Contract and Supply, which awards these non-competitive contracts out, but using her position to award this contract to this business, again, that is being led by the same person running her re-election campaign. Ultimately, what this happened in the end of September, there was no vote. They pulled the committee pulled the vote back before there could be a vote. And according to public record, Aces is the name of the company, and it was incorporated just 1 month before the vote on the contract. And it's owned by that same person who's running her re-election campaign, Tasha Diaz re-election campaign. And that individual is also a part-time member of the city's Human Rights Commission. Tasha Diaz's office declined an on-camera interview with us, but did send us a statement denying any wrongdoing, adding that she pulled back the She was made aware that the individual worked for the city of Yonkers. Her opponent, though, in next month's election, Hector Santiago, who's running on the Working Families line, is calling for the City Board of Ethics to take a look into this.
This is what causes the distrust towards government from our community. It's those small things that, highly need to be investigated.
And tonight we spoke with the city's Inspector General about this issue at hand. We'll tell you what he had to say tonight on the news at 10.
What he had to say was that he's not going to investigate. There's nothing that happened there. She was able to catch it before they were able to vote on it. And so no harm, no foul. What do you think? Should there be an investigation called into this? Will there be an investigation called? You need, 4 members of the city council in order to do that. So are there enough council members that are, opposed to Tasha Diaz and those that are supportive of her to call on for this investigation, to call on Liam McLaughlin, the Yonkers Inspector General, to investigate, right? In the same way that they did to Mike Cater over that quid pro quo office thing, which was a lot less money, I believe, right? No bigger deal. That's a lie. More will be coming out. Well, let's hope that, if there is more, that it comes out, because folks, at the end of the day, I don't want to make this personal. I know I was a bit upset the other day. My emotions sometimes, like my brain, gets the best of me. But we must know the facts. And if there are things going on that are unethical and that are criminal, we have to know about this. It's the right, of the people to know this information so that they can make the best informed decision come November 7th and moving forward. And so we have to root out any, potential, corruption or any, potential wrongdoings by any of our elected officials, appointed officials, those who are hired, right, in order to maintain, some trust in our government, right? We have to have that trust. So will there be an investigation? There needs to be an ethics commission for all of Westchester politicians. Yeah, and I'm realizing that, right? I was watching a meeting of the board for the village of Mamaroneck, and I'm listening to them, and I'm just hearing the way they talk and how they talk, and it's just a pattern, right? When you watch the city council meeting here, and I'm just saying it's everywhere. This problem exists everywhere, all over Westchester, right? And so I'm going to start to watch and pay attention more to some of the other towns, the other municipalities, governments, and see what's going on there, right? And see if there's any connection to what maybe is happening here, because I believe that there's, a control of Westchester politics by a few individuals, and so they're doing a lot of similar things in different towns around Yonkers that I'm noticing. It's like, oh, they do that here. It's all about trying to get, these votes. Hector Santiago for City Council 2023. Hector Santiago is definitely a community guy. He's in, out there. You can see him, actually, involved and engaged with the community. He's known by the community, not just because he's a council member, but because he's out there putting in the work. Hector Santiago became very well known when he walked from Yonkers all the way up to Albany in order to bring attention to mental health awareness. Did Tasha Diaz walk anywhere? Has she walked anywhere for any cause, and just saying, all right. But look, again, Hector Santiago is another candidate that's running. So if you're not aware, you need to be aware and get to know him as well. Get to know his platform, what he's all about, and, make that decision come November 7th, right? Tasha Diaz, is the majority leader. She is also the chair of the education committee here in the city of Yonkers. And as you can see, she heads the committee, board and supplies, or the contracts and supplies, I should say. And they're tasked with giving out city contracts, right? These are contracts that, are given to vendors, different companies or individuals in order to provide a service or maybe a product to the city of Yonkers. And it's paid for by us taxpayers, right? It's taxpayer money. So the problem is that if she knew this was her campaign manager, and, this is his company, is she trying to, funnel taxpayer money into her campaign manager's pocket, right? As some kind of reward or payment, for, the help that she's gotten along the way politically, right? And, that's supposed to be made aware. He's also a part-time city employee as well. And he also manages the campaigns of not just Tasha Diaz, but Shanae Williams as well, councilwoman from District 1, as well as Deanna Robinson, who's running to replace Shanae Williams as she seeks to become the next county legislator for District 16. So he's managing those campaigns. I believe he was also involved in the city council president's campaign, as well as James Nolan's campaign. So, this guy is very well, connected to the politicians, and, obviously, come on, you know what I mean? There's some impropriety there that's going on. And it was, I think it came to a halt when we found out about ACE's Communications and who owned it, right? And I mentioned ACE's Consulting and Communications on a podcast, maybe a few weeks before this. So maybe because it came to light, people knew about it, they had to say, we have to pull this off. We can't move forward with it because we don't know Frank Jarris and his dad, Zahi Jarris, for ACE's Communications, Consulting Communications. We know them as Precision Strategies, right? So that could have gotten by had Freddie Vasquez not, and others not put that out there. Wow. His does a man serve so many kings and be loyal to any? How does a man serve so many kings and be loyal to any? They're loyal to wherever, the money's coming from, right? Wherever the money's coming from, that's where the loyalty lies. And with some people, wherever they're being fed, that's where their loyalty is. So, it changes, right? It changes. And so, we have to be more aware of what's going on. And very recently, we've been paying attention. Shout out to the Yonkers Ledger. They've been doing an awesome job in reporting and investigating, taking the steps that need to be taken. I know I do a lot of putting out information here, but I don't necessarily take the steps that they take. Although my information is 90% is spot on, but they really, put it together with the evidence, doing the FOIA requests and all that stuff, so shout out to them, for doing a great job, again, with the appointment to the board, the zoning board of the son of the real estate investor, that was halted. And then now this contract, was stopped. And I'm just trying to say that we must be aware, we must be informed, and we must speak out. It's very important, because if we're not, and it's easy to go about our lives, right? We have so much going on, and I get it. But when we don't pay attention, then things happen, and then it's too late by the time we realize it, right? And now we're being affected in some way that we're not happy with. So we have to make sure that we're being proactive, that we're paying attention. It's important to know what's going on in the meetings. They blocked me, the Yonkers City Council page blocked my Facebook page. They blocked Basement Politics. So, I'm sorry if I've been missing the meetings and I haven't been sharing them on my page, but I've been blocked. They also blocked my email, so I can't email them, right? It got bounced back when I sent them an email very recently. So I will share it from one of my other pages, but it's important that we watch the meetings and we know what's going on, and that they know that we're watching, right? So that they think twice, before they do these things, to begin with. So, it's very important, So will there be an investigation? I don't know. I heard some things, but I'm going to stay quiet, because I don't, again, I want to, just not be the guy that, and besides, I was told by my sources to stay quiet, and so I respect my sources. They should be ashamed to be linked to this company. Now, well, obviously they're not. They've been linked to them for a lot longer than before the company. But so if you have any information, reach out to Freddie Vasquez at politicwithfred@gmail.com. Politicwithfred@gmail.com. Send me the video, send me the audio, send me the information. I respect my sources, so I was going to go and put out. Talk some more about this, but I'm not, because they asked me not to release this information just yet. In regards to this, whatever else is coming out, I'll let it come out, and then we'll digest it right here on Basement Politics as we do. So thank you, folks, for the support. I'm gonna get out and get to bed early, because I got a lot of things to do today. I wish I was a house husband. I wish. Yeah. Business has been slow. It has been slow, but I still got things to do. Talk about fascism. They blocked Basement Politics, my Facebook page, and they also blocked my email address. So I can't email them, and I can't share anything onto my Basement Politics page, that whatever, meetings that they may have or stuff like that, I'm blocked, and that they can't do that. I hear that's against the law, but there's ways around it. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. And shame. Why you guys block me? A lot of people come onto Basement Politics. A lot of people get their information from Basement Politics. And like I said, I a woman a couple of days ago came up to me, and really quick before I get off, to Nick Speranza, right? That incident with Nick Speranza when he was campaigning on Warburton, when he was accosted by that woman, right, who was trying to hold him because she was saying he was trespassing, and she wanted the police to come and arrest him. She knew who he was. She knew why he was there, but she wanted to make a big scene because it was a setup. And anyone that can't see that, you got to get better with seeing things, because look at the fact that they got the video over to the Yonkers Voice right away. I mean, the guy was still on Warburton Avenue campaigning, right, when they got the video over to the Yonkers Voice, and then he posted it, and then he sees it. So he had to call the Yonkers Voice and say, yo, what is this, man? Right. And so the Yonkers Voice comes and says, okay, I'll do an interview with you. But he didn't want to do it right away. But then he said, no, I want to do it now. Right. Because this just happened. And now you got the video out. And this is what he does. This is what they do. Right. They want to create a negative perception about an individual, and they want to make him look bad. And I believe that those people in that building were a part of this setup. I'm sure they're involved politically somehow. Because they knew they wanted to make sure they got in the video. You're running for a city court judge. Shame on you, right? You can hear the guy yelling that also. But I want to say that, Nick, to you, that a woman came up to me. She watches the show, and she said that, I wanted to talk to you about that Nick Speranza incident watching your podcast, right? And, she felt bad for you, Nick. So she had empathy for you. I want you to know that most people, everybody, I haven't heard one person say anything negative about you because of the incident, and I think that it's just messed up that, how things are here politically. That was a setup. If the lady was truly, genuinely upset about you being there, she would have just simply said, listen, You're not allowed to do this. There's no soliciting here. There was no need for videotaping it. There was no need to try and grab you. There was no need to call the cops. It's not like you were there stealing packages. She knew that, right? But she wanted to create a scene so they can send that video over to Ruros, and then he can post it and make you look bad. But the people are sympathetic. The people are on your side, Nick Speranza. And there's a such thing called the sympathy vote. So maybe you'll get the sympathy vote now that you've been the target of, this political, assassination, so I just want to let you know that this woman came up to me, she watches the show, and she said a lot more people are watching, Freddie, than you think. Keep up the good work. And she wanted to, let me know that, she didn't appreciate what they did to you, Nick. So shout out to you and good luck in your campaign. Nick Speranza, he's running for city court judge. By the way, they took out your sign from that place we talked about where you put it. It's not there. I did see one of your signs in a location that I thought was a bit crazy. Like, how did he get this sign over here? I don't know how long it's going to last there. Not because your opponents will take it out, but I think the state might remove it for you. Anyway, folks, I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered. Let's see what happens. Let's see if the Ledger comes out with more stuff. I hear that there's more brewing, and we'll be reading about it and we'll be digesting it right here. Take care. Have a beautiful day. TGIF.
Freddie wins.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
Let's get it popping.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins.
Folks, I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. Have a beautiful Friday. Enjoy. Be blessed. Be well. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you guys. There's going to be a lot of changes, too. God willing, things will go like you folks are talking to certain individuals, you may be watching. We follow through. That's all I'm saying, man. Life is crazy. Believe in God, though. God is great. God bless you.